Hi, I just want to go over some of the basic tutorials going over the skill exams, which are on the top. When we go to scheduling, click on skill exams, and you see you have this thing looks really similar to what you did with the tutorials. Now, we'll just for the heck of it, we will click on one. Let's click on PowerPoint because I do have to change it. So it goes to 1013. And I'm just going to change the date and I'll show you just some of the basics with it. Okay, so the exam name, you can change that. I don't recommend making changes to this. I don't recommend making changes to the schedule by. That's a little word blurb. I wouldn't recommend making changes to that because that's all been set before you started. The sections are whatever section number you have, and I wouldn't touch any of this. Leave this be. This is a topic that is in visible, show, or hide. You're going to leave that in show. Always available. We're going to take that off, and we're going to put that to 10, 13, 11:55, just like we did for the tutorials. So, time limit. This is if you want to limit the time. And again, I don't recommend doing the time limit disable or leave it undisabled. See, if you disable that, you can set how long you want them to go. I would recommend leaving that undisabled. That gives the students as much time as they need. The suggested time limit just tells you how much time expires. Leave that be. What the exam expires means they don't touch it for so long that it cuts out. Now, if there's a time delay between a first and a second attempt and a time delay between later attempts, meaning when it's set on none, students can take it rapid fire one after the other after the other after the other. Now, from there, underneath that, we have attempts allowed. You have basically as many as you want, 1, 2, 3. A lot of times I'll set it on unlimited, just let students take it as often as they like. Attempts per skill exam, that's a global. So I would leave that be. That affects all of them. And if you want to know what it does, just click on that and it's going to tell you. See? This option sets how many attempts per skill exam. It gives the students multiple attempts at a skill exam, helping them learn from the mistakes while assessed. Back. Then, if you would click, and just so you see how that works, then we'll click on the other one, is just the raw attempts allowed. This can help make the process more of an educational than simply an assessment. Students may be allowed to have multiple attempts. So, as many as you want. Usually when I change one, I will change them both, just to make it easier. So attempts allowed, unlimited, and unlimited. That way the students can keep going. Shuffle the questions just means that there's more questions in the question bank than the students have displayed at a time. You can shuffle and mix them up to make it a little harder when students take multiple attempts. Allow students to resume attempts, meaning when a student's in the middle of an exam and we'll say the class ends, this will let them go right back in, right back to restart where they were. Good idea to leave that checked. Maximum grade is 5. That goes at the end. I wouldn't recommend touching it, but if you do, make sure you understand you're going to have to change the whole point value at the end. Grading method. Grading method's real simple. See, you have practice, which does not count for the students. It won't show up in the gradebook. Highest grade. Highest grade is if the student takes it 10 times, their highest grade is 5 out of 6. It'll show as a 5. Average grade, of course, just averages it out. You know, how many attempts divided by what their score was. First attempt, meaning whatever their first attempt is what scores. Subsequent attempts will not increase or lose their grade. Pass-fail, you set the percentage, and it sets a pass-fail. Wouldn't recommend using that. And then the last attempt. Again, like the first attempt, but it's last. So I always recommend leaving that on highest grade. The pass threshold, if you use this option, pass-fail, it'll tell you what's the pass-fail threshold. Don't recommend that, but leave it on highest grade. And when you scroll down, decimal digits and grades to 0, meaning it rounds up. Later with the skill exams, they can review their responses, their scores, their answers, and feedback while it's available and while it's closed. I would recommend leaving that be. Help window just lets you know that the help window is available to the students. And on the bottom, these are all the things we don't touch. And then just go into your Save Changes. When you save your changes, it's going to take you right back to where we started here. So that's the end of it. And just to show you one more time, we will go into and always available, change the date to 10/13, take it off always available. 10/13, and again, looks just like the old one. 11:55, remember we always schedule for the latest date. 11:55, save changes. And when you push it, it's going to show that it's done. And this, like I said, this looks just like the tutorial screen. Click on this and it'll say unschedule, which means it won't be scheduled. This right here tells you how many attempts that the students took, so you'll know the students are starting to work on it when you see those attempts go up. And you click on a button, edit scheduling. I have to do them one at a time for the moment, so until I tell you any different, leave it as edit schedule. Leave the edit scheduling, just do them one at a time. Much easier. Okay, and thanks a lot, and you have a great day.